The mouth represents R, and as you could say now, you say the mouth represents R. The feather represents the letter I.
Yep.
And the owl represents the letter M. I wonder if our scholars are taking notes. You are learning the original writing here. You are, who said they want to go down in the tomb more? I heard somebody just say, hey, listen, I want to go down more in the tomb. Hey, we did that in the last class. That is why I carried you through the whole temple or the tomb, the whole hallway, floor 1, 2, and 3. We're on floor 3. We are going down. We go down. This is not a go up thing. This is a go down thing. So all you got to do is check the previous class. Now we are taking our time to look at the writings on the wall, isn't it, so Princess?
Yep.
And the princess is showing us how to read the hieroglyphs. Good, continue, Princess. So before you continue, so this mouth here, this is a mouth. And that is R, the R?
Yeah.
Very good.
Yes. Oh, and that's a cross over there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's a Christian cross?
Looks
and
like,
let me just, since we're doing that, I'm just going to skip a bit as we go down a bit, just to give you a better idea of what else we have in store. The feather is I, as you said. The H is not the head. Her, H-R. The door bolt is what again? Z. So, Z. So listen, look at all that we are picking up here. So, and the mouth is R. You know, so when you go to Kemet now and you ask the tour guide to carry you into the temple of Ramesses VI, you should be able to at least begin to read the hieroglyphs. Okay, what we have here, I know that it looks a bit distorted because these killers came in and tried to wipe it out. But if you look good, you could see some wings and you could. Oh, family, blessed love, give thanks to the life giver and the keeper of life, Emperor Haile Selassie. First, we definitely welcome you into the Tiger's Nest, another special edition of Chalice Talk here with you. And what you were just observing, my family, this was actually a YouTube presentation, really, where I was highlighting one of our international homeschool classes. This is one of our African heritage classes from our international homeschool program. As you could see, we were here. Whose temple we were in here? Okay, that was the Ramesses VI. And of course, just giving you an idea, that is how we do it, visual and very lively, colorful, virtually. That's how it is. So what we do, we even carry the young ones into these virtual spaces. So we're actually inside the tomb of Ramesses VI. We go inside different temples, the temples of Lalibela, and of course we're very visual when it comes to the movement of the heavens and the stars and the planets. So as you could see, the International Homeschool Program is as real gets. That is why I always encourage you to even contact us just to get a free sample, to have an idea exactly what it is we go through with the children on a daily level. So my brothers and sisters, it's right there for you to contact us. I'm talking about Priest Isaac Institute at gmail.com, Priest Isaac Institute at gmail.com, and get more information on the international homeschool classes. In fact, before we totally begin here this evening. Blessed love family, great news from the Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge. We are now enrolling new students for our ongoing international homeschool program. Yes, family, now is the time to contact us to get more information on our African heritage classes as well as our astronomy classes. Let me explain. Our classes are factually and scientifically based, plus designed and prepared for the inquisitive yet tender mind of the child. Classes are sent out daily via the email and will appear in your inbox every Monday to Thursday. Your young ones will receive over 140 classes in a 10-month period. That's an academic year. Interactive, colorful. Your children will love it, and you will be happy that you made that investment in them. But listen to this. We have a very special offer for you, family. This 10-month homeschool program usually goes for $50 per month. But for a limited time, you will pay only $30 per month. And hear this, not $3, but $200 for the full academic year if you decide to take the full year package. This is a worthy investment in your young ones. To enroll today, email us at priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com or visit the website priestisaacinstitute.com for more information. Also, feel free to ask us for a sample, a free sample of our classes. Once again, priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com. We're looking forward to hearing from you. Blessed. And of course, again, we're very thankful for such. So there it is, my family. All the information is right there for you. I definitely think it is something that is worthwhile for you to contact us and, at least inquire about the international homeschool, specifically for the young ones, even for yourselves. But to be honest, we're more concentrating on the young ones, furnishing their minds, and more than anything else, coming from my heart to actually, develop, or I like to say evolve, a strong appreciation or love from them towards their African heritage and history, their Afrocentricity in general. So definitely call us, enroll the young ones. The special feature is still there for you. At this time, it's still there, and we're definitely keeping it there. Looking forward for you to contact us. Before we go into the chalice talk for this evening, let me just, of course, remind you of the 3rd of November, which is just a few days away from now. This is going to be our Patreon's Day / webathon. At the end of our little program here today, I'm going to give you some more information, but just for starters, you got to put the date down on your calendar. You need to save the date. Wednesday, the 3rd of November, the whole day from 6 a.m. till midnight. Yeah, we'll be definitely having the official launch of the Institute's website, and of course, Radio Anu International. Is going to be a very upful day. It's going to be a day of giving back, a day of sharing, a day of caring. We're going to have some special guests throughout the whole day. I mean, I have people lined up like the Honorable Ija Star. That's the Honorable Prophet Jeff. He will be definitely in the house with us. We got the Honorable Akeem Pierre. He definitely will be with us as well. I'm talking about promoter extraordinaire, and he'll be showing us exactly what's going on in his neck of the woods as well. And we have other guests that will be coming in to share some information. Representatives from Rastafari Experience Antigua, of course, of which I am an integral part of, will be there as well, giving us some information on the upcoming winter solstice and exactly just what's going on as it relates to Rastafari Experience Antigua. We have the Honorable Empress Chef India. She will be with us as well. She will be also launching, at least on our platform, her brand new book, her book as it deals with vegan food preparation and, of course, living foods. This is going to be a wonderful session. We also have Black King Sound. Black King Sound should be coming in and will be, running some tunes for us. Listen, this is going to be such a marvelous, upful day. We're going to have special offers on all of our products throughout the whole day, whether it's our documentaries, our books, courses, classes, all the services that we have, you're going to have a special, special offer on those services. So in other words, family, that's why it's a Patreon day. That's why you come and you give back. You come and you show support, you show appreciation. So even if you never bought anything from the Priest Isaac's Institute in your whole life, this is the day now for you to even spend $10, even if it's $10. And you may say, oh, Priest, you ain't got nothing there for $10. What do you mean? All of our DVD documentaries that day, all of our books, Anu, Ancient and Modern, on that day will be $10. Oh yeah, the biblical land of Israel, you always wanted to get it, that will be $10 on that day. What's the other book there? The Heavens Declare the Glory. These are books that go for a $20 value. That will be $10. All of our international lectures that you don't find on YouTube, our visual lectures that you don't find on the internet, those will be $10. The Night of the Black Tiger, how long you needed to get a copy of that? That will be only $10 on that day. And even when you buy the $10 product, you're going to be getting other things with it. It's going to be a day of giving back, my family, a day of love. So even if you just come and spend a $10, trust me, we will appreciate your presence and, definitely keeping the spirit of the day alive. But this is going to be a yearly thing, an annual event. I'm talking about the Patrons Day and the webathon. So even if you feel you don't want to buy anything and you just want to pledge or contribute the 10 as it relates to the webathon, it doesn't matter. You should encourage what you see taking place here. Listen, man, we have our own platform for the type of works that we have to do, the responsibilities that has been bestowed upon us, and we need our own platform. You can't depend on YouTube. You can't depend on Facebook. When you see me go on the Tiger's Nest every evening, as you could obviously see those who tune into radio, and we say what we feel to say. When you come on the Facebook, you have to check your words. And when you go on the YouTube, you have to watch what you're saying, because when you look around, oh, you got a next strike and we're going to give you 2 weeks off and all of that. So this is why we're celebrating our own platform. And for those of you who really appreciate the freedom to speak, you should be celebrating with us. So more than anything, to be honest, more than anything, I just want you to be there. More than anything, from 6 a.m., don't come late. We're going to start with the prayer, the service, giving thanks. So you got to be there for that from 6 a.m. before you rise, when you rise, after you rise, click us on. We're right there until midnight. So, believe it or not, I have more to say about that. But I'm going to, definitely wait until we seal up this program. So for sure, make sure you join us. Wonderful day, wonderful guests. I'm going to invite you one more time to visit our website, Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge, but not just the website now. As I told you in the previous program, you definitely need to go to the website and visit Redemption Healing. Redemption Healing is where you get all the information as it relates to what we were speaking about with the yoga. So you remember, you can get your private yoga and meditation classes. I was asking you the previous time, how many of you, suffer with stress and anxiety and physical fatigue and all of these different things? Well, I think by now, most of us understand that the science of yoga can assist all of that. Look what we have here. Private yoga and meditation classes. Remember, these are carried out by Redemption Healing, the Honorable Empress Naya specifically. Look at it here. What private yoga classes can do for you. Gain initial experience in a safer environment for beginners. Feel more comfortable and less self-conscious. Okay. Focus on personal goals and needs. Reduce your anxiety without triggering other stressors. Be able to practice yoga anywhere, even at work. Work around your schedule. All of these are coming with the private yoga meditation classes. And of course, the practitioner again, which is Empress Naya, she is a professional in the whole aspect of Zen meditation. you know, and these are some of the qualifications. This picture is not her specifically, but these are some of the qualifications here, specifically in the art that we're speaking of. English, a bachelor's within English, and master's in history, and certified international doula, CPR, first aid certified, you know, and many other things. And of course, as you see, certified 200 hours yoga and meditation instructor. So what I'm just saying to the family there, you know, because I know some people have some concerns, the Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge. Remember, not because it's Priest Isaac's Institute. It's not Priest Isaac alone. It's Priest Isaac's Institute. And we definitely gather together individuals that are professionals, obviously, that are qualified. Even I myself, as you know, I am certified in the field of archaeoastronomy. So when we come and we speak about what we offer, it's not play, we're playing around, family. We are serious as serious can get. And this institute that I've put together, trust me, this is not something that I'm here to giggle about. So if you're serious, my family, about the whole art of yoga and finding that balance within yourself again, I think it's important that you contact us. Just visit the very same website, priestisaacinstitute.com. Email us, priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com. You should do that now. Don't wait until we're done. You might not remember. Email us now. It's not going to hurt. And say, I would like some more information on the yoga classes. Trust me, we will guide you through. You won't be left hanging. We will guide you through properly to give you a better understanding as it relates to the international yoga classes. And of course, there's so many other things that we delve into. So definitely, I'm looking forward to you giving us a visit on that. Now, we're going to spend some time today as we look to go into the sabbatical vibration. And I actually want to talk about Rastafari, literally the Prince of Peace, you know. And I know when we hear about the Prince of Peace, it's usually from a biblical perspective. And to be honest, sometimes these things that you see me return to, because sometimes we've spoken of, like, for example, this, we've definitely touched what I'm going to touch now. We've touched it already. But, you know, one thing I realized that every day you have new listeners. Every single day, somebody new comes into the class. And you don't want to be beginning the class over and over again. But for sure, you got to at least show respect to those who just came in. It's easy to tell them, oh, I have 1 million videos behind of you. You should go and watch them all. No, I mean, when they're going to finish that. So you got to still, to some degree, be able to fit in things that they have missed so they can understand where we are going. And some of you who would have been there when we have touched this already, maybe you need to be refreshed. So what I'm going to do, we are going to remember this is Chalice Talk, and make sure you get your chalwa. You know how to get your chalice, don't you? All you have to do is just check the website. Everything is on the website now. Everything is on the website. You can definitely go to the store, the shop, visit the website and go to the shop region. And definitely you will see all the beautiful chalices prepared by R7 Design. And you just click the link and it will take you straight to it. Or you could just email us, priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com, and we will link you directly with how you get your chalwa. So this is Chalice Talk. I'm going to light my chalice. What we're going to do, we're going to, oh, this is where we were a moment ago. We are going to be looking at a video. This is one of them old videos there from back in the days. The world tour of Emperor Haile Selassie I. The quality is not the best. The visual quality is not the best. The audio quality is not the best. But I want to give you an idea of exactly what we'll be looking at. You know, this is the year 63, just after the emperor organized the Organization of African Unity, and he went to New York, and Kennedy said what he had to say, and the emperor took a world tour as such. He went to Canada, few parts in Africa for sure, went to Europe, and one of the main things is that there was a big war going on between Morocco, and Algeria. And one of the emperor's mission on his world tour was to bring an end to that war. If you remember the speech that Kennedy gave, he was speaking of specific conflicts that the emperor came and mediated. The conflict in Biafra. When you hear about the war in Biafra, that's in Nigeria. Since I've been small, I've been hearing about Biafra and the war. I never ever knew Haile Selassie had anything to do with stepping in and mediating that war. Can you imagine that? The conflict in the Congo. That's what, what's his name there? That's what Kennedy says. The conflict in the Congo. The emperor would have stepped in, at least during that time, and would have brought a lull to that conflict. And now we're going to speak about the conflict between Algeria and Morocco. And what I'm saying, family, this is not religion. I know the Bible speaks about the Prince of Peace. And yes, it's talking about Haile Selassie. I know people who want to argue all day long, oh no, it's talking about Jesus Christ and we're going to get up and down and know the Messiah and this and that. Okay, fair enough. I'm not talking of belief. I'm not talking about something that we need more evidence and what this archaeology says and what this anthropologist says and all of that. No, we're talking about clear, honest history. The only reason people deny this history is because they've kept it from us. And in this history, it clearly shows you on a realistic level, not a religious level, on a realistic level, who is really the Prince of Peace. That's all. So what I'm going to do, what's the phrase they use? I'm craving your indulgence here as I hold this meditation and we watch this video. As I said, it's not the best of quality, and I hope, you know, you can tiger with me. And of course, we will meditate on it. So remember, the science of chalice talk is that we light our chalice while the program is going on. Usually when you see me come and sit with you, I don't burn at least a cup or two. I haven't burnt anything for a while. It's time to burn. So I'm going to elevate with you. And by the time I start to speak again, you might notice the difference. Oh, give thanks. It's a joy. Give thanks for the Sabbath coming in. Hey, remember, the 3rd of November, please, I'm looking forward to being with you on Radio Anu. Holy Emmanuel, Selassie, Rastafari, mighty God, give thanks to the holy meditation. Give thanks to the tree of life provided. Bless us as we partake of it in your holy and terrible name. 3 in 1 and 1 in 3, ruler of earth, sky, and sea. King Emmanuel the 7th. Adonai God, Jah. Rastafari, blessed love, we definitely give thanks.
Services as mediator in an effort to bring about the end of the bloodshed and get the two parties together around the conference table.
Try to listen properly.
After the parade, the emperor presented gifts to the Malian CNC General Sumari in the form of a gold-encrusted shield and a pair of lances. When President Modibo Keïta said farewell to his imperial guests, neither of them could have realized that they would be meeting again so soon. And then northward to Morocco, where one of the highlights of the visit took place at Arica in Marrakesh province. The people welcomed him as the man most likely to preserve peace, and their joy was unrestrained.
Before we go in further, it says here that the people, you know, greeted the king after leaving Mali there as the individual that was more likely to preserve peace.
And then northward to Morocco, where one of the highlights of the visit took place at Arica in Marrakesh province.
He left Mali and went to Morocco, and the people, you know, looked to him as the one most likely to preserve peace. They're going to give a ceremony to him now. That's the ceremony when you see them riding the horses and shooting the gun up in the air. if I'm correct, and someone can correct me if I'm making a mistake, I think that in this modern time, there were only 4 heads of states or leaders that has ever been privileged to witness what the emperor is going to witness now, him being one of them, or being privileged to be given the entertainment that he's going to get now in his honor. And the 4 individuals that have ever received that, from my knowledge, is him, Haile Selassie, Queen Elizabeth, the Queen of England, Minister Louis Farrakhan, and if I'm not mistaken, Nelson Mandela. All right.
The people welcomed him as the man most likely to preserve peace, and their joy was unrestrained.
Let's follow.
Lunch was taken at Arica as a guest of the provincial governor, after His Imperial Majesty had been entertained by the local horsemen. But for all the festivities and ceremonials of the visit, there was serious talking to be done. And the emperor had several discussions with King Hassan, who earlier had been the host at a state dinner at the Bahia Palace in Marrakesh.
Serious stuff, eh? Let's listen.
The task lay in the balance, and everybody prayed that he would succeed.
So I want us to get that good. Listen to what the narrator is saying. So now he's with King Hussein, what's the king of Morocco? Hussein, right?
Yeah.
King Hussein, that's the second or something? King Hussein the second. Okay.
And the emperor had several discussions with King Hassan, who earlier had been the host at a state dinner at the Bahia Palace in Marrakesh.
So he's having discussions here with King Hussein. And what I'm trying to show you, family, all of this is leading up to something. Remember, Morocco and Algeria are at war.
The success of the emperor's self-appointed task lay in the balance.
The success of the emperor's self-appointed task lays in the balance. What's his self-appointed task? What do you mean? He's trying to stop the war between Morocco and Algeria? Who does he think he is? His self-appointed task. The emperor took it upon himself to stop the war between Algeria and Morocco. I didn't know that. Well, I know it now, but I mean, speaking like anybody else who have been kept from this knowledge, I didn't know that. You mean he took it upon himself? Okay, interesting stuff.
And everybody prayed that he would succeed.
Everybody prayed that he would succeed.
As relaxation from the worries that beset him, His Imperial Majesty visited the souks or market area in the old part of Marrakesh. The souks of Morocco are famous, above all else, for the perfumes and wrought silver and goldware which are sold.
Morocco. Morocco, eh? More like the Moors? Morocco. Yeah.
The traders welcomed him, and the emperor bought several souvenirs, examples of exquisite local craftsmanship, to take back to Ethiopia with him. The history of Morocco goes back to the 6th century BC, when it was a Carthaginian trading post. But it is the later Moorish influence which gives the country its present character. he continued tireless in his pursuit of peace.
Then to Algeria.
Algeria has known all too recently the sound of fighting in the streets, the rattle of tanks, the shrieks of battle, and the agonies of conflict. Yet once again, war was threatening, as His Imperial Majesty drove to Maison Jolie, the residence of President Ahmed Ben Bella, for talks which would shape the future of the continent. Then, accompanied by the Foreign Minister, Monsieur Abdelaziz Bouteflika, the Emperor went for a tour of Algiers.
So the Emperor is in Algeria now to talk to the President. And these talks will shape the future of Africa. Yeah? I didn't know that. Somebody kept this from us.
From the heights of Saint Raphael, he gazed down on the city. His talks with the President and King Hassan had borne fruit. Both had agreed in principle to a meeting. Only the details remained to be settled. The people of Algiers received him as a peacemaker, the man who would spare them bloodshed and tears. And so, as part of his mission on the way to success, His Imperial Majesty took his leave of Algeria and President Ben Bella. And so, to Tunisia. Tunisia became independent less than 10 years ago. But even in that short time, President Bourguiba has earned a high reputation for statesmanship and good government. The drive from El Alouina Airport to the Palace of the 1st of June was unforgettable.
Unforgettable, eh?
There could be no doubt of the gratitude which all the peoples of North Africa felt for the Emperor. And time again, the procession was halted for people bringing flowers. The two heads of state met several times during the visit. And
before we go too far, he's saying there could be no doubt of the appreciation that the people of North Africa felt towards the Emperor. You see, because you may not be there, you cannot really feel the energy of the moment and the time. But when you live something, even in this modern time, when you don't live in a specific island country or even a part of the country, certain things that are happening, at the core root of the area, community, you may hear about it, you may even sympathize with it, but to say you feel it and empathize with it is a different thing altogether. So at that time, people understood what was happening. In a sense, propaganda wasn't enough for people to at least know that Haile Selassie, the Ethiopian emperor, is up and down all over the world trying to make peace for us. Let us show appreciation for that. And he has done it before. He has done it before. Kennedy just said it. And when Kennedy said what he said about Biafra and the Congo, this war with Morocco and Algeria was still going on. Remember when the emperor left Kennedy, he went to Canada and then to Africa to deal with this. I think it's a bit after this. It is a bit after this that Kennedy was shot. So I'm just kind of fueling the narrative for you, family, so you understand, comprehend, understand, overstand properly what is taking place here. So from Morocco to Algeria, and also the emperor involved Mali too, and the emperor involved France as a former colonial government for the area, even of Mali. It's a mystic thing, eh?
There could be no doubt of the gratitude which all the peoples of North Africa felt for the Emperor. And time again, the procession was halted for people bringing flowers. The two heads of state met several times during the visit, and many important talks took place between them. The Emperor found time to visit the ruins of Carthage, first founded 850 years before the birth of Christ. Once the center of Hannibal's power, Carthage became a Roman stronghold. Julius Caesar re-established a colony there, and it is of this period that most remains. This evening, there was a state banquet at the presidential palace of Carthage, and President Bourguiba welcomed his guests, stressing again the friendship which exists between the two nations. The speech was one of warmth and friendliness, a speech of welcome and delight at the emperor's coming.
لا يمر اسمها بخاطرنا نحن المعشر المسلمين دون أن نذكر بتأثر أنها كانت في فجر الإسلام مأوى أمينا وملجأ حصينا لأصحاب الرسول الذين فروا من إرهاق القريشيين.
He concluded by proposing a toast to Ethiopia, its emperor, and all its peoples, and the continuing friendship of the two countries. From Tunisia, His Imperial Majesty crossed the blue waters of the Mediterranean to Europe. He arrived in France at Orly Airport, Paris.
In France now.
Received Prime Ministers of the Republic. Both Morocco and Algeria were until recently French territories, and his talks with President Charles de Gaulle were obviously of great importance.
President Charles de Gaulle.
The emperor's efforts to bring about peace were bearing fruit, but no word had yet arrived about the time and place where the opposing parties would meet.
So let's get this good now. So we have to follow what's going on there. Everything looks quite festive and all of that. And, you know, to be honest, I'm watching this video here and, you know, there's so many things about these videos. One of these days, we're going to have to do a program where we just go through it and point out some special things that may, you know, go over their head as you're watching it. There's some funny moments in a lot of these videos, and trust me, there's some humorous moments in these videos. And sometimes, especially when you watch them over and over again, you pick them up. But I don't want to distract the topic to go and show you what maybe made me chuckle as I was watching it and what somebody would have done. Because remember, a lot of things are happening and you'll be surprised the things you pick up from some of these videos, you know, especially surrounding the emperor. You know, just more proof of his mystic presence. You know, that everything around him is just in order and just chimes with joy and happiness, and in some cases humor as well. So really where we are, so in Tunisia is a very important spot. If Algeria and Morocco fight it, as they say, when the elephants fight, the grass get hurt. So Tunisia come like the grass, you know, and Tunisia is like a little piece of country there in comparison to them too. So when they're battling at it, Tunisia might have to be careful as well. So this is very important for Tunisia. So the emperor is checking some key people, Mali, you know, obviously Morocco and let's see there, Algeria, obviously coming from Canada, coming from the US. All of this would have had to be on the table because the US, more times than less, always have a hand in something or the other. And then at the same time, going to France now, going actually to France, who, as the narrator said, who until recently, these areas that are at war with each other were French territory. So the French can't act as if, well, I don't know why they're fighting. They ain't got nothing to do with us. I'm sure it doesn't have nothing to do with you. I am sure it has nothing to do with you, even though until recently, they were your territory. And we know how that goes. Nobody ever really leaves, you know what I mean, the territory that was under their colonial grip without some sort of presence still there. Whether it's a governor general, obviously, or nothing at all, but they're still there because they control the economy. Their banks are still there. Their insurance are still there. Their hardware stores are still there. Their clothing stores are still there, you know, but they act as if their supermarkets or markets are still there, but they act as if they're not there. anymore. I'm telling you. So the emperor is in France now.
A pleasant interlude in the affairs of state was a reception held at the Imperial Embassy, Paris. Here the emperor met and talked with the Ethiopian president in France. And then word came. Morocco and Algeria would meet in Bamako. In the capital of Mali, which he had left only a short while ago, His Imperial Majesty was greeted by President Modibo Keïta. The two heads of state were to act as mediators during the peace talks. This meeting was to be the climax of the emperor's search for peace in Africa.
Okay. So this is it, eh? If you can recall from the previous video we did where we highlighted this. This wasn't the topic, but it came up. So after reasoning in France and everything, because the emperor is looking to get the two parties to talk. So then word came that the two parties will meet in Mali, in the capital, that's the capital again, Bamako, in Mali. Here it is.
In the capital of Mali, which he had left only a short while ago, His Imperial Majesty was greeted by President Modibo Keïta. The two heads of state were to act as mediators during the peace talks. This meeting was to be the climax of the emperor's search for peace in Africa.
So they are supposed to act as mediators, and according to this reporter here, this is to be the climax. I want the family to get this in. This is to be the climax of the emperor's search for peace in Africa.
His work had succeeded where others had failed.
The man said, his words has succeeded where others have failed. What he done?
Both countries were to meet under his chairmanship, and an agreement.
Both countries were to meet under his chairmanship. I have to explain it properly. It's not that clear. And I want to make sure our students get it clearly. Both countries are to meet under his chairmanship. And an agreement of
Agreement and ceasefire was signed. It called for an immediate cessation of hostilities and propaganda.
and an immediate ceasefire was signed. Wow. An immediate, no long talking, right now, before we go too far. Before we go too far. Algeria, what other place there? Morocco, Hussein and Bandala come sign immediate ceasefire. Hold on.
In Africa. His work had succeeded where others had failed. Both countries were to meet under his chairmanship, and an agreement and ceasefire was signed. It called for an immediate cessation of hostilities and propaganda.
It called for an immediate cessation. Same season again. Stop right away. That's where the immediate really came in. But as I say, it calls for immediate cessation of hostility and propaganda. So yeah, immediately, no more hostile behavior, that's fighting. No more war. No more propaganda.
And provided for a demilitarized zone patrolled by Ethiopian and Malian troops.
And provided for a demilitarization zone patrolled by Ethiopian and Malian troops. So I would believe that where the main fighting was taking place, more than likely on the border. And them his neighbors, eh? You know, the Ethiopian and the Malian troops would now control that region there and kind of make sure that nothing going on, no fighting, nobody coming. You know, honestly, I don't know the detail, but it could have been over territory, over minerals, over land. So wherever the conflict region was, if that is the case, you have the Ethiopian and the Malian soldiers now in between. And this is just for the record's sake, you know, because, you know, everybody happy that the King of Kings come and, you know, I mean, bring love to the family. Let's follow this God and goddesses.
Later, a conference of all the foreign ministers of Africa was to be held in Addis Ababa to find a permanent solution to.
Later, a conference of all the foreign ministers in Africa. How you do that? We mean all the foreign ministers, all the foreign ministers in Africa. There's a conference in Addis Ababa, that's Ethiopia, where a permanent solution will be found for the problem. Now, that's an important thing there. When you see the emperor can say, yeah, so we want all the foreign ministers from all the countries to come to Addis Ababa at this time of the year. That's a serious thing. That's to show you, although Africa was, you know, just as it is today, different countries, different heads of states, different flags, different ideas, culture, language, traditional religious ways, whatever it is. What the Organization of African Unity did was not necessarily put those things away, because that's what make you rich, but gave us an understanding of how we can live together as brothers and sisters, no matter the flag, no matter the language, no matter the culture. Once we know it's an African culture, and we know we're African people. That's the vibe, you know. So, and the emperor was the head of all of this. It's all the foreign minister, the man just called for it and say, yeah, we're going to speak about this and get this clear in Addis Ababa to come to a solution to the problem. Events have already told the full story. Okay, still explain what's the full story that the events have already told.
The emperor's achievement was complete.
The emperor's achievement was complete.
No longer did African fight African.
No longer did Africans fight Africans.
And all the continent rejoiced with him and thanked him for his efforts in finding a solution to the problem that had once seemed insoluble.
And all the continent rejoiced and thanked him for finding a solution to the problem that had once seemed insolvable.
It was a great personal triumph for His Imperial Majesty. Africa, under his leadership, had set an example.
Hold on. It has been a great triumph for His Imperial Majesty. Africa, under his leadership, yeah, Africa, under his leadership, has set an example for the world.
For His Imperial Majesty, Africa, under his leadership, had set an example. It had shown the rest of the world the way to settle disputes between nations.
It has shown the rest of the world the way or how to settle differences between neighbors. it has shown the rest of the world, Africa, under Haile Selassie's leadership, 1963, has shown the rest of the world, how to settle differences amongst brothers and sisters. This is 1963, eh? This is 10 years, 11 years before the emperor came off the scene. And how many decades before that? The emperor earned them stats that you see him having. And what you're seeing taking place here is just more added to the stats. This is not only the Grand Master, you know, this is the great architect. Where is this history? My African conscious brothers, Pan-Africanism or perish. Where is this history? My conscious community, where is this history? For all of those who consider themselves as to be Africans, whether it's in the struggle or whether it be on a conscious level theologically, where is this history? You know, it's touching, man. It is a level of vibration that we have to meditate on it. And I'm not talking about those who purposely hid this from us. I'm talking about those of us who continue to keep up the enslaved mentality that has been given to us. Some of us, we have read all the books. We have read all the books. We know every book for Ivan van Sertima. We have read all the books for Dr. Ben and Dr. Clark. We've been to Egypt with Dr. Jeffers and with Dr. this and the other brothers. You know, we have our Ankh name. We read Black and Green. And you could hear it when we talk about those who we admire. We hardly, or maybe I should say, we never have not to say about Haile Selassie I. It appears to me as if we force Marcus Garvey out of our mouths. I don't know why. Even though we red and we black and we green. Because Mosiah Garvey is another individual that the historians, the perpetrators of this fraud, they totally lock him out of the zone. But you would believe that as he came to the United States of America and woke them up, you would believe that since Malcolm X's father and mother were both members of Marcus Mosiah Garvey's UNIA, you would believe that since Elijah Muhammad, with all love and respect for the great man, was also a member of the UNIA, you would believe that even Minister Farrakhan, again, all honor and respect, would have said from his own mouth that even before he taught himself consciously, he saw a picture of Mosiah Garvey on a wall in the house of his uncle and asked who this man was, and his uncle explained. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he shed a tear. And you would believe in all of this that you would hear Marcus Mosiah Garvey's name ring a bit more, even amongst established Black conscious organizations. That's what I'm talking about. So if we can do Garvey that, wow, what do you think we will do to the emperor who the culture that they drag us up in has even made the emperor even further away from us than Mosiah Garvey? At least I know I see a picture or two of Mosiah Garvey in the school textbook. I never hear nothing about no Haile Selassie, unless it's something bad coming out of the mouth of the old people. And here now, this is not no newfound thing. This is 1963. This is before the emperor even go to Jamaica in 66. Although people may hear, yeah, Rasta something, and most people don't even hear about that yet. 63, even during Carroll Garden Massacre, 63. Internationally, Haile Selassie is just a great leader, a mighty leader doing marvelous things in the earth. That is exactly what he is. So you could hear from the voice of the narration here clearly the position that the emperor holds. He has taught the world how to make peace and stop fighting amongst brothers. Listen to one of the statements that he made. No longer did Africans fight Africans. Wow, that's a serious thing. No longer did Africans fight Africans. When was this? When was this? I love my emperor, Rasta. You see me? Trust me. And I don't have to get too religious to pick up my emperor. Up to now, we never say Matthew chapter 5 say. We just showing you clear history. Who is the Prince of Peace? Now tell me, who is the Prince of Peace? Don't bring no fairy tale character to me that people not even sure if he existed. Who is the Prince of Peace?
Pages of the Book of Travel were turned again.
Look how everyone, that's the leader of the fighting countries hugging and embracing the emperor. So yeah, listen it again now. Listen to his statements. This is just a chunk that I take out. This 2-minute statement. Listen it again now without me coming in and me light my chalice and praise Rastafari. Me? Stop praise Haile Selassie? Tell you, Holy Manuel I, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. Yeah, man, trust me. We firm in this, eh?
European president in France. And then word came. Morocco and Algeria Algeria would meet in Bamako. In the capital of Mali, which he had left only a short while ago, His Imperial Majesty was greeted by President Modibo Keïta. The two heads of state were to act as mediators during the peace talks. This meeting was to be the climax of the Emperor's search for peace in Africa. His work had succeeded, where others had failed. Both countries were to meet under his chairmanship, and an agreement and ceasefire was signed. It called for an immediate cessation of hostilities and propaganda, and provided for a demilitarized zone patrolled by Ethiopian and Malian troops. Later, a conference of all the foreign ministers of Africa was to be held in Addis Ababa to find a permanent solution to the problem. Events have already told the full story. The Emperor's achievement was complete. No longer did African fight African, and all the continent rejoiced with him and thanked him for his efforts in finding a solution to the problem that had once seemed insoluble. It was a great personal triumph for His Imperial Majesty. Africa, under his leadership, had set an example. It had shown the rest of the world the way to settle disputes between nations. And so, the pages of the book.
Now, please, Holy Emmanuel, Selassie, Rastafari. Clearly again, we give thanks for the Prince of Peace. And I will just seal it up with saying that, again, it's not a fairy tale concept. It's as real can be. And outside of just this one situation that we highlighted, there are others. The Congo may not be a peaceful place at this moment, but there's a time in history when the emperor came in between and lulled the terrible fighting and killing that has started again in the same Congo. Nigeria has its own turmoils. And when you hear about Biafra, it's pure fighting. But the emperor himself mediated already to the point where he brought balance even into these regions. A lot of ones not even aware. A lot of the whole aspect of advocating for ban on nuclear weapon and so. These were things introduced by Haile Selassie I, even on an international level. So when he hears talking about the King of Peace, again, it is not no religious or esoteric, mythological thing. It's as real can be. Emperor Haile Selassie I. King Selassie, Rastafari. Give thanks to the Sabbath coming in, family. Remember, you can tune into Radio Anu for all your Sabbath vibes. Just Sabbath vibes from Sabbath start to Sabbath seal. Radio Anu. If you're not going to the tabernacle, if you're not going to, the service, you could definitely make sure that you're in tune to Radio Anu and definitely get it on with the vibration, Nyabingi sound, Nyabingi meditation, Nyabingi music, Nyabingi reasoning, churchical order right there on Radio Anu. So you don't know how to do it. The link of the radio station is in the description below. The link for the website is in the description below. Just scroll down the video and press the link and go straight in. Sabbath day, just full joy, the vibes and whole meditation. So yeah, as I said now, for sure, for those who are highly interested, let me just take some time to give you a better understanding now of what is taking place. So as I said, we are celebrating, our official launching of the website and Radio Anu International. So every year on the 3rd of November, you can consider that we are celebrating another year of officially the website and Radio Annual International. Now, it is a Patreon day and also a webathon day. So meaning that every year as we do this and we celebrate this, it will be Patrons Day. Every year as we do this and we celebrate, it will be a webathon as well. So you could always look forward to that. It's never going to change. But this year specifically, obviously, is the launch, and that is the one-time event. Because when you launch, you're gone now, you're taking off. All right, so what I'm saying is going to be a whole day. So we're going to rise at 6 a.m. Well, we're up before 6. In fact, all through the night is going to be service and naibing all through the night going through until 6 a.m. And when 6 a.m. comes, it's just more naibing and service, you know, as we're giving praises for the beginning of the day, you know, and our Psalms reading and whatever the case is, blessing it in. And then we will begin the whole science of the day. As I said, we'll have special guests coming in. I even spoke to Honorable Prophet Jeff yesterday. That's the Honorable Ija Star mindset. And he definitely will be with us. You know, we definitely have a lot to speak of, things that I know will intrigue you. So we give thanks that he's going to be in the house. As I mentioned earlier, Brother Akeem Pierre will be in the house. He's an individual. He does a lot of the promotions for a lot of the summits and retreats that the Great Physician International has in St. Lucia in the Kailash Mountains. He does a lot of the promotion for that. So he will be with us as well. We definitely will have Rasdre. Prophet Rasdre will be with us representing Rastafari Experience Antigua. So we're going to be speaking of exactly what Rastafari Experience Antigua is up to and what's going on with the movements there. We definitely intend to have a little melody from Black King International Sound. So that is something for you to look forward to. Upful vibration and upful music going out throughout the day. Yes, the Honorable Empress Naya will be with us as well, as we will be going into the old science of yoga and doula, and we'll be also launching that official book for Empress Chef India. I haven't gone through it as yet, but I know for sure that the standard must be up, as I know she's definitely a master in her craft as well. And we have other people on the line, you know, definitely just waiting for an official word before we be up and be calling their names. But we definitely have more guests, more visitors, more celebrities coming in to utter a vibration. And we all royalty and we all celebrities because we're all celebrating on that day. So don't look for nobody greater than nobody. It's just vibes coming through. As I said, we're going to have special offers on all of our products throughout the day, whether it's our books, DVDs, documentaries, courses, classes. We definitely will have a special offer. And as the day gets closer, especially for those who are following us, we are going to release a video which will highlight exactly what those special offers will be. So it will be up on the YouTube, on the Facebook throughout the whole day, and even a day or two prior to the actual 3rd of November. So at least you have a good idea of exactly, you know, knowing exactly what we have to offer. Because remember, we have documentaries, DVD documentaries, which are now officially video documentaries, because these are e-products. We still have online lecture classes for sure. We have the whole triple series, The Living Gods of Kemet. We also have the video lecture entitled Rastafari, Haile, Selassie, and Islam. And keep in mind, all of those lectures and all of those video documentations, like the Master of Ceremony, the Night of the Black Tiger, all of these will be going at only $10 on that day for each on that day. And that's just an example, but you see there's so many other different offers that I have in between that, like when you buy a certain amount, what else comes with it, all the books will be going at $10 each. But there's so much more you get when you buy specific packages. So I'll be giving you an explanation as it relates to that. Remember, we have our home school. We have specifically our international courses, archaeoastronomy and theology within the realms of Rastafari. So many things, but all of that will be laid out today on the 3rd of November. And even prior to that, it will be laid out so you have a good comprehension. This is why I'm saying, family, this is why I'm saying that even if you spend just $10 with us, definitely you're leaving with whatever one thing you're buying with that $10 for sure is worth more than the $10, plus whatever else will come. But what I'm just trying to show you, that even if it's just that you spend with us, you know, or if you prefer to utilize that as a part of the webathon, it's up to you. It will be highly appreciated. We'll definitely highly appreciate, love that. Every year it's Patrons Day. You giving back and we're giving back. That's what it's all about. And we're also at the same time encouraging you to support Black business, you know. Yeah, just like how I'm encouraging myself to say, hey, gotta give the people a day that even when they spend minimal, they get maximum. Like, I mean, they always do it. They always do. But we just gotta put it on more, man. Put it on more. Make sure people leave feeling like, wow, all of this? Yeah, you're supposed to leave by saying all of this, definitely. So we're looking forward to you, you know, being a part of it. Make sure that you come in early, as I said, 6 a.m. and you're staying with us until midnight. I myself, my section will be, well, I'll be hosting the day, but my specific section will be at 7. Remember, at 7, we have what is known as the Tiger's Nest. Every evening, we have the Tiger's Nest at 7. And that evening will be no different. I'm talking about the Wednesday, the 3rd of November. That will be no different. I'll be having the Tiger's Nest at 7, you know, but I'll be going until midnight. It's going to be a very, very special Tiger's Nest, you know, something that you do not want to miss. I myself might have a special guest within the Tiger's Nest. So let's just wait and see how that one goes. This is going to be a marvelous come together. Let the Black I Am be praised. Holy Emmanuel, I, Selassie, I, Jah, Rastafari. So I mean, this is just a wonderful day, family. You know, looking forward to each and every one coming through. Looking forward. The main thing more than anything, my family, is just to be there. I just want to know that you are there. I just want to know that South Africa is in the house. I just want to know that Ethiopia is in the house. I just want to know that Ghana and Ivory Coast is in the house. And these places I'm calling, they're usually in the house, you know. Yeah, man, for sure. And France, and give thanks to everyone in Switzerland and Sweden, you know, all the listeners in the United States, for sure. In Canada, in Guyana, in Trinidad, you know, in Guadeloupe, in St. Lucia, you know, give thanks, Grenada, give thanks to everyone in tune, in Peru, in Brazil, in Colombia, Australia. Right now, we're definitely touching the international community with listeners from all over the globe. So we're looking for everyone to come together on that day, talking about the 3rd of November. That is the day that Menelik II was coronated, officially the coronation day of Menelik II. So we give thanks continually for such life giver and the keeper of life. Of course, you know, if you need more information on anything, even if it's just information on that day, email us, priestIsaacInstitute@gmail.com, priestIsaacInstitute@gmail.com. And of course, any other information from the yoga, if you need to understand how to get through with the yoga classes, the virtual yoga classes, email us. International homeschool classes, email us. More information as it relates to the launch day, email us. This is what it's all about. So we do give thanks to the life giver and the keeper of life. Blessed and wonderful Sabbath night, Big Yard. Holy Emmanuel, I, Selassie, I, Jah, Rastafari. Blessed Lord.